promise you.
Hey, how you doing? I hope you're doing well. Listen, I'm not saying anything new. You've heard it, you felt it, you have seen it. Hollywood saw the potential to get our money and we took the bait. Fish on a hook ready to be fried. But other than our eyes glued to everything everywhere or our swing through the Spider-Verse, have any of these films, these spectacles utilized their multiverses to say anything? To show us anything that we have not seen before? No. Remember when the goosebumps used to form at the mere thought of 3 Spider-Men quipping, 2 Batmen coexisting, and Patrick Stewart being back in the chair? Remember the fan art, the Reddit theories, the world of possibility that we dreamed of? Nothing is ever as powerful as our dreams. But me personally, I never could have dreamed that the multiverse would be stale on arrival, would be dying before we saw an ounce of life from it. I think we all wanted stories that actually utilize it, make it mean something instead of using it to shoot the story in the foot. Why did this happen? How is there already multiversal fatigue? I think we happened. I think we are the problem. But first, can you imagine if Raid Shadow Legends sponsored this video? You get to hear all about its awesome collection of over 700 unique champions, a super detailed and tactical RPG battle system, incredible graphics, and intense combination of PvE and PvP content. Well, lucky for you and me, this video is sponsored by Raid Shadow Legends, so let me tell you some more. My favorite thing about Raid is the sheer amount of variety between the characters. We're talking over 700 uniquely designed champions. If you can imagine it, Raid most likely has created it, like my homie Skinner. Look at him, I love him. Raid offers endless customization with millions of different combinations and playstyles, regular updates so you're not left to rot in a player base of over 400 million people in 190 countries. You can start playing on desktop or mobile, the world is yours. New players can get their hands on Stag Knight, one of the best epic champions around, as well as the skin for Stag Knight designed by JonTron, by using the promo code JTSkin before October 7th. They're also introducing Hydra Clash, a clan-based competition to see who can smack the Hydra the hardest, with many rewards to be won. Use my link in the description or scan my QR code to get insane bonuses. We're talking an epic champion Talia and other useful goodies, energy refills, XP boosters, and more. Once you're in and crushing your enemies, come find me under the name HiTop Alex, and if you're fast enough, you can join my clan. So just hit my link in the description and I'll see you on the battlefield. Thanks guys. This video is very much for me to vent, and I hope you're willing to follow along, but if not, thanks for being you. I'm going to ask a series of questions, rhetorical or not. Feel free to answer me in the comments or just vibe. 1. Why the hell is there a Flash movie with no Flash villains? I mean, the Flash has probably the second best rogues gallery in all of DC Comics. Captain Cold, Mirror Master, Gorilla Grodd, Reverse Flash, all of the potential to create imagery, create emotion, create something that we haven't seen in a superhero movie before. Imagine a mirror dimension depicted on film. Imagine Gorilla City done in a way that is lovingly campy but has something to say about our society. Imagine seeing that translated, adapted with $200 million behind it. I'd like to see that. Shit would be banging if done correctly. But there is no if nowadays. Why the hell is there a Flash movie with no Flash villains? Well, we liked Zod and Man of Steel, right? Out of all the DCEU villains, he was probably most definitely the best. I will find him! Michael Shannon brought something to that role, a power, a presence. Why bank on something new? Why tell your own story when we like the story that came before? It's easier to just use him, drag him out, and cover him in visual effects than to bank on something new. It's easier to trust our nostalgia than to give us the benefit of belief. 2. Why the fuck is the first appearance of Tom Holland's Green Goblin Sam Raimi's Green Goblin? Listen, I'm not critiquing the way they use Sam Raimi's world to get even more of our money. I'm not even saying that you will find a better Green Goblin than Willem Dafoe.
Oh, what do I do? I it up.
I'm saying that you didn't even give John Watts and MCU Peter Parker a chance to showcase something new. A new take on Norman, on Ock, on Sandman, on Lizard, on Electro. I'm sure we might get those takes. I'm sure we will eventually see what and whom those characters look like in the MCU. But you will never, ever, 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 ever get another Green Goblin that killed Aunt May. That took one of the only things that ever made Peter Parker feel loved, made him feel the fire of hope, and extinguished it right before his eyes. I'm not sure we were ready, that Peter was ready, to meet two Spider-Men that have faced, that have loved and lost so many times over, when he himself had yet to learn or relearn that with great power comes great responsibility, and who only learned that because someone else's villain, someone else's idol turned victim got dragged into another universe. No matter what they do or how well they do it, another filmmaker's vision of Spider-Man will always have, arguably, the most important place in the life of this current Peter Parker. Maybe that was the idea, that we believe that there will never be better takes on these characters, so why not use the best, most beloved takes instead of dreaming something new? What Raimi did 20 years ago is unmatched, I do believe that. But I would also believe that given the chance, a filmmaker, a writer, a storyteller could dream up something so unexpected and original. But why even try? Especially these days, when you know as soon as the rumors start rampaging and Willem's iconic Goblin laugh starts echoing in our ears that you have $1 billion hit on your hands. They knew that we would be seated, popcorn in hand, ready to relive what we once loved. 3. Why, in the middle of a Doctor Strange movie about trying to find happiness, is Patrick Stewart there to get his neck snapped? I think Multiverse of Madness at least tries to use the multiverse to say something thematically, to use this plot to force Doctor Strange to reflect. Can Stephen Strange be happy without Christine? In what universe or reality does he remain a selfless hero instead of a hubris-filled world ender? In what reality can he be that hero and also be happy? That's so smart on paper. The potential of that is beautiful. Too bad the movie gets bogged down, even if it happened so briefly, by the need to play the hits. Charles Xavier, Captain Carter, Black Bolt, fan cast fantastic. I personally do not care to see any of these characters in a Doctor Strange movie, especially one that seems like it has or had something to say about grief and about giving up so much of yourself for the betterment of others. Do we really care to see any of these characters other than Charlie? Probably not. So why? The entire group scene moment was so transparently, clearly shot, reshot, written, rewritten to appeal to the least common denominator. Us fans in the audience who thought that Deadpool might be in here, that Tobey Maguire was going to show back up since Raimi was directing, the content creators who speculate on Ben Affleck's Daredevil bringing Jessica Alba's Sue Storm to life while Chris Evans' Johnny Storm fires some quips back at Doctor Strange who jokes that he looks an awful lot like Captain America. Disney owns everything, so anything is possible. We provide free press and hard-earned cash to go see a movie on the slim chance that your favorite version of your second favorite Marvel character will briefly make an appearance in a universe-altering adventure. Because frankly, most of the audience did not give two shits about a Doctor Strange movie or a Sam Raimi movie, but bought the ticket because Multiverse was in the title. 4. Why do we keep traveling through the multiverse, yet see nothing new? In The Flash, Barry Allen goes to a different timeline. We would assume that this is Tim Burton's timeline. Batman has the same costume, he says the same lines, but nothing about the aesthetic of this new world, this universe, is different. It does not look like the brilliant work of Anton Furst or even a pale imitation of it. It looks like every single other superhero world. In Multiverse of Madness, after a crazy montage of different possible universes that all look way more fun, way more creative, way more full of possibilities, we get a world where traffic lights are reversed. In No Way Home, we never see anyone's world other than Peter's, which still looks like it was shot on a green screen in a Best Buy parking lot. The entire Sonyverse is filled with brief multiversal connections that will probably never go anywhere worth traveling. Why? Because boardroom reasons, because the Vulture showed up at the end of Morbius and nobody cared, because Kraven the Hunter is an R-rated anti-hero, because the foundation of every single one of these movies is the expectation that we will give a shit because of the 2% chance we might catch a glimpse of Spider-Man. I think it's absolutely absurd that somehow it feels like, if anything, the superhero multiverse restricts creativity. filmmakers having to imitate and somehow reintegrate decades-old universes that were far more out there, far more stylistic, into the bland landscape that audiences have come to expect. Keaton can never get nuts, Raimi's villains will never be shot with the same panache, and Patrick Stewart genuinely doesn't seem like he knows what movie he's in. Even with the best actors in the business, the best crew, the most money and most resources, the studio's focus is not on the creative potential, the vast possibility of multiple worlds. It is on showing you something that you have seen before, but diluted to the barest of bones, lacking all the soul that made it work in the first place. But yet, we continue to pay for it. I mean, maybe we are starting not to, but as soon as Deadpool 3 opens with Logan rising from the dead, or the Secret Wars trailer ends with an AI-generated Andrew Garfield voiceover, or the Crisis on Infinite Earths movie has a Bale Batman cameo, we will be in the theater dreaming of a reality, many realities that will never meet our expectations. It's a lame dick joke that we will continue to fall for. There is no point to even doing this shit if it's only to get grandma's money because she remembers when Michael Keaton was Batman, or because soy boys like me can't get over Sam Raimi's Spider-Man. We aren't being shown anything creative, anything fresh, nor exciting. We are being shown worse versions of what has come before and clapping while they do it. I feel like we just opened the door to the idea of a cinematic multiverse, and yet somehow it's already overdone, stale. It feels like we want to shut that damn door and go back to self-contained stories that actually have something to say. We have to shut that door or reinvent what's behind it, because at this rate, soon, every single big budget movie will have a cameo from an actor who played the same role, or a mostly forgotten character that 12-year-old you once loved. When I was 12, me and my nerdy friends would joke about who would win in a fight, Keaton or Bale's Batman. We would dream of seeing Andrew Garfield take on Tobey Maguire, laugh at the idea of Lou Ferrigno's Hulk joining forces with Ed Norton's. But it was all in jest, because if that ever happened, on the slim possibility that it might, we knew that those movies would probably suck. But these aren't fantasies of an underdeveloped 12-year-old anymore. This is where we are at. The multiverse isn't being used to show us worlds we've dreamt of, show us reflections, meaningful mirrors to the characters we love. It has been taken over by our desire to relive the past, instead of looking towards anything new. We did that. You, me, and everyone else who dreamed, who witnessed the scariest episodes of Justice League, the most ludicrous moments of Spider-Man, who was rocked when they first read Crisis on Infinite Earths, who believed in the pure idea that multiple versions of our favorite characters can coexist, always with the goal to help save our world. It was an innocent mistake to believe that Hollywood would understand what made those multiverse stories, those childlike fantasies, so special. Our honest excitement has been diluted into a twisted nostalgia factory filled with empty promises that we keep funding. Maybe we should start dreaming bigger. Hey guys, thank you so much for watching the video. This was a fun rant to record. Sorry if my voice was weird on this one. I'm fucking getting sick and it's horrible. But don't forget to use my Raid Shadow Legends link in the description or scan my QR code to get insane bonuses for new players with an epic champion. Jason trailer is out now, I think, hopefully. Yes, please let me know what you think of it. Thank you guys and have a lovely, lovely, lovely day.